Well, when school restarts, which I hope and believe should be tomorrow, we're going to have community leaders out there, and Guy Burney and our community initiative to reduce violence is working to get community leaders and church leaders and hopefully parents out to school to welcome kids back to school, and to make sure that everybody understands that East High School is a place where many students come to learn. And those who don't want to learn, we need to figure somewhere else for them to be, for something else for them to do. You know, I've heard, and I know the board has heard, that East you know, has become an issue with the behavior of students there. And I think, as you said yesterday, was just sort of a, I don't know, just became an issue overall. You know, from the city's perspective, for about 2 hours yesterday, we had just about every vehicle, or every car that was supposed to be in other areas of the city over at East High School. We had 25 officers respond to the call for assistance. It took until about, you know, for about a 2 hour period of time, all of our resources were devoted to East High School, leaving the rest of the city fairly wide open, and our call takers were, you know, struggling to make sure everything got answered as it should. So that's a problem from the city's perspective. But I think even more important is, as a community, and I think this is something the board and other groups have struggled with, you know, the kids who were affected yesterday are 15, 16, 17 years old. As far as I'm concerned, as a parent, as an official, they all know right from wrong at that point in time. And sure, certainly you're going to have fights that break out in any high school. That just happens, and we all know that. But to basically take it upon yourselves to act upon on whatever personal grudges you have, and it seems like there were many small personal grudge disputes that were taking place. You know, that sort of a mob mentality sort of took over on some of those issues, and even after officers got there, it took, you know, 20 minutes to a half hour to get the school under control. And when you know, our officers come out there, they have several things they have to worry about. They have to make sure that they're safe as officers. They have to make sure the students are safe, and they have to make sure teachers and the administration are safe. So it's just not a matter of, you know, sending officers over there. They're going in there because they have to get the situation under control. And I'm very proud of them because they have
to fix it.
And I'm very proud of them because they went in and they did that, and they tried to do that in a very quick and efficient manner. You know, as Lieutenant Ramon Cox is leading the investigation to determine, you know, if charges need to be filed, and we'll leave that up to him and the chief and the prosecutor's office on how that will be handled. But, you know, when you're in school, it's a place of learning, and this is disrupting a lot of people who are there to learn. You know, the seniors will be taking tests over the next week or so, and they're probably concerned about when school will be open up again so they can get that process underway. We've all talked about it. I've talked about it. The board has talked about it. I believe the NAACP has talked about it as well, is the role of parents or anybody who's supervising the kids who are in the Youngstown City Schools or any schools. I mean, if your child or your grandchild is the one who's involved in these types of activities, that needs to be dealt with, not just through a discipline system or a legal system. It has to be dealt with through a family system as well. And if somebody can't control or doesn't know how to get a young person under control, I mean, they can call our Family Services Department. I'm sure they can call the juvenile court system. There's mechanisms in place to try to help people, but it can't go unanswered outside the school building, at home as well. And that's not, that's just a raising your kid issue.